Miss Cheyenne called me over this time to discuss how, in her opinion, she thinks how doodling and blogging has changed my life in some instances. Which is really funny. Recently when I wrote that open letter to Maya Khan, a thing did happen, which is really funny. Other than that, I have received the opportunity to do TEDx talks about how art needs to be inculcated into our curriculum because, in my opinion, when I came back from America, I thought that our curriculum was very dry and very, very stoic for kids. So what I thought at that time was to introduce doodles, cartoons, and colorful images to have children reading. And it wasn't just that. I also started talking about racism, feminism, sexism, classism through arts and doodles to make it more understandable for young children. There was an instance where I wrote a poem that went into Africa and got published over there, You Are Beautiful, and it was based on how when I was a little girl in Virginia, I was beaten up by a few white girls because I was brown. And it was a really traumatic experience for me, simply because my complexion meant that I was worthy of being beaten up by girls from a different race. It was something that I will never forget. And I thought that since this is something that will continue to go on, unfortunately, I need to do something about it by maybe writing. And I needed to talk to little girls who, like myself when I was little, felt ugly for being brown or black, non-white. And that poem was called You Are Beautiful, and it's up on my blog. I hope the connection works though. It went up in Africa where still being black or white is a huge issue for young girls, and it's really saddening because I still see this in Pakistan. It's ironic because most of us are brown, the majority, but we treat each other with the black-white mentality, and it's really sad. So the poem was for little girls. I read it to my high school students and my elementary students, and I hope it shows up. This is my blog. That is a painting I have in my room too, and it's by Balbina Bakshi. It's about a woman's personal life in different modes. That's my doodle and my imaginary dog that I'll never have because my mom thinks dogs are horrible. Let's go down. Beautiful as you are. When I was 4 feet and 5 inches, kids at school would say, "Hey Mehreen, buy yourself a paperback. Your face ruins our day." I asked them why they thought so. My mom said I was pretty swell. That's because your hair is bushy, plus your skin's dark as hell. So I wore the paperback to school. I wore it day and night. I thought I'd be accepted if I was out of sight. And then I grew up and left home for college and other big plans. I made friends around the world. I even made some fans. I learned that people are beautiful if they love, respect, and care. What matters most is inside, not my skin or hair. So if a girl is tall or pink, but she's rotten and she's rude, she's not pretty in any way. I'd rather have her rude. And if a girl is small and dark, and her heart is made of gold, trust me, she'll be plain beautiful, even when she's old. Now, here's a little secret. Brown is a beautiful shade. Of warmth, strength, and sweetness, this strong color is made. But that doesn't matter. Oh, it doesn't matter at all. If someone treats you for your skin tone, they're not worth the fall. You look beautiful and you're lovely because you are you. Oh man, this rhymes too nicely. Because it's really true. Your skin is just a cover. Your skin is just a meat. It doesn't make you bitter. And it doesn't make you sweet. It makes you gorgeous and lovely. It comes right out of here. So now you know you're perfect or you're beautiful in here. This was for little girls. I believe that most South Asian girls, African girls, girls or people of color needed to read this, and I'm glad that it went out. And many East Asian people also read this because there's this obsession we have with being white, fair-skinned, and pretty, and it breaks the basic crux in many, many girls I know. I've known beautiful, beautiful girls and boys who've had to adhere to this sick obsession we have with skin tones, and I've seen many people lose talent simply because of that. So that was one poem, and this is how I use doodling to assert change, or thinking, Now I have students in Sargodha and Lahore who don't even care about their skin tone anymore. They know they're beautiful. They don't need to look white or pink or amazingly gorgeous to be accepted. And I firmly believe that our girls in our society need to start learning this as soon as possible, because we are breeding a generation where many of our girls are completely obsessed to becoming toys for people, to becoming pleasure for people, and it breaks my heart because I don't want girls from our society to be objectified in this way. And if there's the only thing I can do right now, in the means that I have, I doodle for them. I go to their places, I go to their schools, and I read my poetry to them, which I also do through sticky notes. These little sticky notes I got from my dad, who happens to be a very, very grumpy old man. And he leaves this all over the house, telling my mother to give him food, where are my shoes, I lost my socks. So I grew up in a house where these notes were all over the walls, and I grew up loving them. And if I get the lights, it's okay, well, I'll just hold it right up for you. It's called It's Okay. And I got this, thank you, published, or photocopied for that matter, for young boys and girls in high school who came up to me and said that life gets really, really tough for them and they need someone to give them some simple advice. So what would I say to them? And I got this sticky note for them. It's called It's Okay. And it starts like this. It's okay to be human. That's right. It's okay to be human and imperfect. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be mad. And to yearn for something you never ever had. Or you did, but you lost. At a very, very big cost. It's okay to fail. Many girls and boys have this problem. We need to be perfect, we need to excel. As long as you keep trying, don't give up. It's okay if you break a cup. Trust me, no one cares about a broken cup unless it's your grandma's, because my grandma has huge issues with that. It's okay to fall in love and feel scared. It's okay if you get hurt, as long as you get even. It's okay to cry. It does not matter if you're a boy. I said it's okay to cry. We grow up in a country and in a society where patriarchy teaches us not only things against women, but against boys. We teach our boys that they're not allowed to cry. And I've seen some very suppressed men, and I've told my male students that if I see you crying, I'm not going to say you're weak for it. All I'm going to say is that you're human, and that's okay. This is a little doodle book I made for girls in kindergarten. And this is really fun because people think that children are really simple. They're not. They are not simple. They have 1,000 thoughts in their little heads all the time. So one of my students, Alina, she's a tiny little girl, and she told me that, teacher, मैं हर वक्त इतनी टेंशन लेती हूँ, मुझे नहीं पता मैं क्या करूँ. मैंने कहा इसे तो बहुत 1.5 फुट की आप क्या टेंशन लेती होगी? And she told me that she has these thoughts in her head all the time. So I drew a little doodle for her, and that's Alina with her big hair. Let go of it all, one day at a time. And that's it. And she starts to lighten up. That way she finds that maybe some people out there really care about her. That's Lolly's Lollipop, a little story for my cousin who loves lollipops, and that's Lolly. And then this is a little doodle I sent to my mother because she has this really strong urge to be perfect, and I think everybody does. So I kind of just left this in her inbox, and I said, being mediocre is fine, relax. Relax. And I'm mediocre, it sucks. That's my mom. So that's what I do. My Body, My Country was a poem and a video put up by Mehreen Kasana on Gavahi against how girls in our society are sexually harassed in bazaars and markets, and they are told to remain quiet about it because it is made an issue of honor, and it is wrong because our girls don't deserve that. So this little poem was started, and it was called My Body, My Country, and I told women, men, whoever gets sexually harassed in public places or in private, they need to know that their body is their property and no one has the right to harm them, humiliate them in any way, and if anyone tells them to stay quiet, they are wrong. I love this for my sister. They're not a pig, pigs are cute. And this was another doodle on feminism, where we talked about how body types are constantly stigmatized. That a girl, if she's too skinny, she's not pretty. If she's too fat, she's not pretty. If she's perfect, she's still not perfect. But someone out there is going to find a damn issue with it. So all I said was, I don't see how this proves beauty, or her worth, or real femininity, or anything. That's her, they're women on their own. You don't need to define feminism, or femininity, or anything, gender, for any person. And this is rage comics, something that many students here know about. These things go viral on the internet. And I made fun of Pakistani couples. Some of my friends were like this, that's the guy. And he says, "Mujhe ek dafa job to shuru karne do, main phir rishta bhej dunga, I promise." She's not moved by that. And then she says, "Jisko pyar hota hai," and I've heard a girl say that. "Jisko pyar hota hai na, wo bas rishta bhej dete hai, ye bahane apni nayi girlfriend ko sunana bye." And that's it. And they actually broke up. So that's how I use doodles to use humor, to get my point across, and maybe one day, if I'm lucky enough, to bring change in the society that we live in. That's it. Thank you for your time.